Hey guys, welcome to the J-Man YouTube channel. We're up here in Angeles National Forest on Highway 2, and today we're going to be testing out the Kanjo Spec.D roof fins, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So behind me is my 2012 Nissan 370Z Nismo. It's equipped with a GTM Stage 2 supercharger, making about 450 wheel horsepower. This is what we're going to use to install and test the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins. These are the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins. Come on a little closer and we'll take a deeper dive into these. So let's take a deeper dive into the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins. Now these sell for $200 US, and you get a driver's side and a passenger side. So these are carbon fiber construction. If you can see the inside of there, you can actually see through the carbon fiber weave in a few spots. There is some fiberglass reinforcement, but this isn't like a cheap Chinese fiberglass or plastic part with just a skim layer of carbon fiber around it. This is actually a full carbon fiber construction with some fiberglass reinforcement. Now, as for weight, they weigh pretty much nothing. I think the clear coat probably weighs as much as the part does, so if you were to sand it down and get more of a dry carbon look, you might actually save a little bit of weight. And these are secured with 3M VHB tape, which everyone who thinks that that's not strong enough obviously has never used it. I've had Aero parts stuck on with 3M tape for years with no issues. Most aftermarket rear spoilers and duckbills are held on with tape. It performs extremely well and you don't have to drill holes into your roof. So how are we going to test this? Are we gonna rent a $20,000 a day wind tunnel? Or are we gonna put weight scales on the back and blow a leaf blower over to get wind for it? No, we're not gonna do any of that. We're gonna do the oldest trick in the book that race teams have been using since the 50s. Yarn. So we're gonna tape pieces of yarn all over the car. We're gonna do a couple runs without the roof fins. We will then install the roof fins and do the same test at the similar speeds, if not the same speeds, if we can manage. And so that'll give us an idea, are the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins directing air towards the wing, or are they just not really making an impact? Well, we'll find out. So how is yarn gonna help us understand the efficiencies of a carbon fiber aerodynamic component? Well, this is a test been done since really the underbeginning of aerodynamics was understood in race cars terms. And teams have been using this since the 60s to test cheaply, but also effectively, what Aero is doing, what air is doing as it's flowing over a race car without spending huge big money on renting a Aero facility as in a wind tunnel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut 1-inch strips of the yarn and we're gonna tape them all over the car. So what do we expect to happen with these roof fins? Are we expecting to see a doubling of downforce? Nismo quotes 150 pounds of downforce for the Nismo wing and front bumper. Are we gonna double that? Most likely not. What we're trying to do is just increase the efficiency of what we have without having a big giant rear wing. And just like that, guys, here's the finished product. So we just took yarn, wrapped it around our fingers, cut it into about 1.5 to 2 inch lengths. Not exactly super perfect, but it's not what we're doing here, not what perfect here. This is just to get a general idea. So we basically just put it all over the part of the car that we're interested in what the airflow is doing. So we also left the gap right here. This is where the Kanjo Spec.D roof fins are gonna go. And so what we're wanting to see is right now, without the roof fins, we're wanting to see the air wash down. And you're gonna see, I don't know yet, but you're gonna see the yarn come down like this because the air might be coming over and just washing off. So then what we would want to see after we install the roof fins is this hair, all this air staying attached and all this staying attached and flowing towards the wing. So that's the idea. We would be increasing the efficiency of whatever wing you have, whether it's a stock wing or like Kanjo himself, he has a really big chassis mounted wing. Whatever we can do to increase the downforce at the rear end just a little bit. We're not trying to change the world here. We're just trying to get a little bit more efficiency. So pretty soon we'll set it up to test and I'll start driving at, street legal speeds and we'll get a good idea of where the air is moving. Okay guys, as you hopefully saw in those photos and videos of our airflow yarn test, what we could see was not what we were expecting. We were expecting air to be coming on the roof and washing down, but what we actually saw is this air flowing upwards. And then the airflow didn't come down until right about this area, and you can still see some of the yarn is still in that position from coming down. So what does that mean for our Aero fins, which we were hoping would fence in air from the roof? The roof air was actually extremely well attached, so I don't think we really need to worry about there. Only about here did it really become unattached, or not unattached, just flow off and miss the wing. So with this Aero fence, we're hoping to keep this flow wanting to migrate to the roof farther down here. This area was coming a lot off and missing the rear wing. So we're hoping with the air fin pushing the air a little farther downstream, it'll want to keep this area attached and pushing towards the rear wing, thus increasing our downforce. If we can get this area right here to just flow a little bit more towards the tail of the car, not just down here towards the fuel cap, then we can increase the efficiency of the rear wing, thus gaining us some more downforce. So let's go ahead and install those Aero fins, and I'll get back to you with that. Okay, so how do we install the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins? So first things first, you don't want to just plop this thing on. What you're going to want to do is do some surface prep. Now, when I'm doing surface prep with anything adhesive, because again, we're going to be using 3M tape, I'm going to use Mother's Surface Prep Spray. Now this is going to be the best you can get for prepping any surface, getting rid of the waxes and greases on it, so whatever adhesive you use sticks really well. So you want to spray some surface prep on the rag. Let's spray a little on the thing, and just wipe the area good. You want to clean as well as possible. You want to remove all the waxes before installing. Waxes, grease, anything that would hamper the install. Okay. So step 2, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our driver's side. These are sticker labeled, so we're going to grab our driver's side carbon fiber air fin. We're just going to take it out, make sure that we know where we're putting it. We're getting our ideas of how we're going to place it on the thing. So then what we're going to do is you're going to lift the front edge of the tape. You don't want to lift all the tape off right now, except for maybe this front one. They're so small. So for step 2, you want to make sure we're going to peel the tape, but only about that much. You don't want to peel the whole thing off, because what we're going to do is when we place that down, you're going to peel that edge while it's on the car itself, so you can place it exactly where you want. So as you can see, we have the tape hanging off the edges. We have tape removed from the front and the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our edges, get them lined up to where we want, and we're going to push firmly down once we have everything lined up. So there we go. We have the back and we have the front where we want it. So we're going to push firmly down on the front, and then what we're going to do is you're going to peel that tape edge from underneath, boom, and now you're stuck there. So we're just going to do that on both sides. Down and kind of hold it. What I like to do in this situation, open the door so you can kind of get all of your weight on it. So we're going to probably hold that for about 5 minutes or so, maybe a little longer, just to make sure that it's nice and stuck and adhesed, and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. So as you can see, we've installed the Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fin. Now, anyone who thinks the VHB tape is not going to be up to holding this, I mean, I can move the whole car on this, and it's only been on there for 5 minutes. You leave it for 24 hours to cure, as you should, you'll have no problems. I wouldn't even worry about this. So let's get the other one on. We'll do the string test again, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now you can see that we have the Kanjo Spec.D roof fins installed. And you can probably see from that rear angle there, they're cambered in a little bit, so the front is wider than the rear. So hopefully we're funneling more air towards this rear wing and gaining a little bit of downforce while looking good at the same time. So I'm gonna go test this out, and I'll get back to you guys in a sec. Okay guys, so I put a side-by-side of before and after the roof fins install. On the left is before and on the right is after. And what I want you to do is I want you to look under the main plane of the wing in the slot gap, and you can see the airflow of the yarn there is staying more horizontal versus on the left, on the no fin, it's dropping down a lot more. You're losing sight of the yarn, so you can see that it's actually directing more air to the rear. So what do we think? After the yarn test, you can see that maybe what our ideas of what these would do wasn't as grandiose as we thought it was, but from the driver's seat, I could tell you, I felt a little bit more confident in the rear end. Now, that could just be me placebo-affecting it, wishing it was true, but I felt like I gained a couple mile an hour coming through here, and it felt a little bit more stable. I was a little bit more eager to push on it. Now, there's no science here, there's just what we saw and what we observed and what I feel. Tires could have been warmer, I could have got more used to the corner, bunch of factors. But stylistically, I think these look pretty awesome, and for that reason alone, they get my vote. Again, I bought these with my own money, but they also serve a function if you believe what tests I showed you. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. If you want me to do a follow-up video on these, or, you know, a durability test a couple weeks later, months later, let me know if you want me to do a video on the Kanjo Spec.D mirrors, on how they feel through the airflow around the window, because I can tell you from experience, these definitely change a lot. These things are awesome, and they're worth every penny. Again, bought with my own money. Kanjo Spec just supplied them. Alright guys, so that's it. Kanjo Spec.D carbon fiber roof fins installed. I think they look fantastic. Definitely give a little bit more aggression. I think they would look really good paired with an aftermarket carbon wing. Maybe that happens in the future, and maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Let me know in the comments what else you guys want to see. If you could smash that like button, that would be great. Subscribe if you want to, because I'm going to have a lot more content coming out with the car. And any questions you guys have, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. So let me know how it goes, and see you guys later.